So in last class, we discussed two things. That is what when the car is traveling in horizontal road and when the car is traveling in a banking of road, means in a inclined roads. So what is the maximum velocity car need to travel without skidding either into the inwards or outwards. So if it is traveling horizontally, so we have been found that V is equals to, so what is the everything? So if you take, this is the horizontal road. So we got it, V is equals to, what is the formula guys? Everybody, so maximum velocity which the car can travel. What is the answer? We got it. All of you? So if it is a horizontal horizontal road, the velocity of the car, maximum velocity which can travel is mu into G into R. So if the car will travel with this velocity only, so the car can travel without skidding either inwards or outwards. So that is what in horizontal road, finally we have been made conclusion. V must be less than or is equals to mu over G into R. Am I right guys? Everybody? Yes, please.
Yes,
So
sir.
same way, if you have taken the banking of roads, means if you have taken inclined roads, if the car is traveling, you can see in the guard roads and all, our vehicle is traveling in inclined roads, then at what velocity car has to travel without skidding either outwards or inwards. So that is what, in that case, V must be less than or is equals to root over, yes please, root over
RG tan theta.
tan theta. So these are the two things we derived in the last class. So now today's class we are going to make a derivations and numericals related to skidding inwards and as well as skidding outwards. So all of you remember, if a car wants to travel without skidding either inwards or outwards, all of you remember, it needs to maintain the maximum friction on the ground. So by that time we used to use a maximum friction, means it is a what friction, everybody? That is what? Limiting friction is equals to mu into N. So we have derived that also in the last class. Am I right, everybody? So F maximum, that is what limiting friction, which is equals to mu into N, which is equals to mu into mg. Okay. Now, so always we all knows that centripetal force will act towards to the center and normal of the car will act upward direction and velocity of the car is moving forward. So if it is a horizontal road, we derived the formula mu is equals to, what is the answer guys? Mu is equals to, V is equals to root over mu
Root over mu GR.
yeah, mu G R, that is a formula which we have already derived. Now, today's class we are going to stick to the only banking of roads, that is what skidding inwards and as well as skidding outwards. So from that we will continue. So all of you observe, as we have already derived in the last class, the formula. So in a banking of roads, maximum velocity is how much guys? V must be equals to root over RG tan theta. Root over RG tan theta. Now, if you have taken when the car is traveling in banking of roads, so banking of roads, if you notice it, so as we all people know, this is what, if suppose banking of roads, if the car is traveling. So as we can see, if you are traveling in a ghat roads like Ooty or Tirupati, Tirumala roads and all, that is what, whenever it is taking a curve, it will be banking of road. Am I right, everybody? Yes, please. So whenever the vehicle is taking a U-turn, you can see that in a guard roads and all, that will be definitely a banking of roads. It will be like inclined path. Am I right, guys? Respond, all of you. Yes or no? Correct or not? Whenever you can notice it, or else a race cars and all you can see. Whenever the race cars are traveling in the race, so definitely it will be a banking of roads. So when it is in a banking of roads, we got the two equations. One is what? N sin theta is equals to centripetal force. So that is what? This is what the direction of, as we know, for normally you take. So I will take it as a trying any direction inclined road, either this side or this side, doesn't matter. So let me take, this is the angle what we used to call guys. What we used to say? Theta. Understanding all of you? Now my vehicle is present. My vehicle is passing. My vehicle is passing here. Now if you observe here, always weight of the body is acting what direction? Everyone? Weight of the body is acting downward direction. Normal is acting what direction? Normal is acting in
Upward.
direction. That is what? Normal. So if it is normal means here, then if you imagine perpendicularly, so what will happen here? So perpendicularly, so as it is, imagine like if it is skidding outside or inwards, that is secondary. That is what we are discussing today's class. So here, the angle will be theta. If it is the theta means in the sense of, then this will become what? N cos theta. And perpendicularly to this, it will become what? N, everyone, N sin theta. Correct or not? Exactly like this. Understand, Rudreswa? If it is in this side, we can take N sin theta here. If it is N sin theta. So always, as we all knows that centripetal force acting towards the what? Centripetal force acting towards the
Center.
center. So that is what Fc is equals to mv square by r. So from that we can form the equations. N sin theta is equals to centripetal force. That is what you want. You can take mass into centripetal acceleration. So mass is m. So what is the centripetal acceleration? V square by r. So what is the answer? mv square by r. Now same way n cos theta. So what is the n cos theta? N cos theta is equals to what we got it? mg. Clear? So if we solve these equations, we got it. Tan theta is equals to V square by Rg. From that, V square is equals to Rg tan theta. And V is equals to what, guys? Root over Rg tan theta. Okay. Now here we are having a two cases. That is what we are going to discuss now. So all of you observe very carefully. So that is only I will explain you. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me. So now all of you observe, if V is greater than, see that V is greater than root over Rg tan theta. V is greater than root over, all of you, V is greater than root over Rg tan theta. So if you notice it, in the case of absence of friction, all of you observe, in the case of absence of friction, that is what I said. This is actually like a ideal case. Am I right, Rudreswa? While our solving time also we have done. This is ideal case. When it is absence of friction, so what is the maximum velocity you can travel? V is equals to root over Rg tan theta. If, for example, V is greater than, velocity of the car is greater than root over Rg tan theta, keep it in mind. In this case, our car will try to skid inwards or outwards. Anybody? Velocity is greater, so that our car will skid towards to the what? Everybody. Our car will skid towards to the upwards. You can see that sudden brake you put, your car will try to push away from you. Am I right or wrong? So if V is greater than, keep it in mind, if V is greater than root over Rg tan theta, the car try to skid upwards. Car try to skid what direction? Everybody? Upward direction. So if it is acting upward direction means by the time, as we know the velocity upward direction, so that by the time the frictional force will act in what direction? Anybody? Force of friction. Force of friction will act in what direction? Body is trying to move in this direction, guys. Direction of body is in upward direction. So friction will act in what direction? Yes, opposite direction. Do you understand, everybody? So if V is greater than Rg tan theta, root over Rg tan theta, car will try to skid upwards, but frictional force will act what direction? Everybody?
Downward.
Yes, the friction will act downward direction. The friction will act downward direction. Same way, if V is less than root over Rg tan theta, please remember, then it is also to prevent the skidding, understanding? To prevent skidding, then car will start moving. Car will try to skid. Car will try to skid inwards or outwards. Car will try to skid inwards. Then F will act to what direction, guys? F will, yes, please. F will act in upward direction. So upwards or outwards. So that is what is the two cases. Based upon this only, we are going to solve the numerical. So once again, I'm saying all of you remember. So the same thing, I will take it into there and I will draw neatly. So please make it. So imagine if the body is skidding, if it is a banking of road. This is what we used to say, banking of road. Am I right, guys? Everybody will understand, everyone. So imagine this is the road. Now the car is traveling. So as we all knows that if you imagine this is a road, so always weight of the body is acting what direction? Weight of the body is acting what direction? mg. Understanding? Downward direction, and the car is normal. So check it, everybody. So car is normal is in this direction. So if I draw horizontal and vertical lines, all of you observe, I will draw horizontal and vertical lines. So if you take this one, all of you. So here is the theta. So as we all knows that everything is 90 degrees. So if this is the theta, means here how much it will come? 90 minus theta. Now here what will happen? This one theta is here. So you speak. This will become n cos theta, and
N
this will
cos
become
theta,
what?
N
N
sin theta.
and sin theta. Clear, everybody? And the force of centripetal force which is acting, mv square divided by what? mv square
R.
divided by r. So from that we will form the two equations. What are the two equations we will form? N sin theta is equals to mv square by r, and same way n cos theta is equals to what, everybody? N cos theta is equals to,
force.
okay, understand, Rudreswa? Now imagine that if v is, brothers, if v is greater than root over rg tan theta, if v is greater than root over rg tan theta, so as I said, body will skid upward direction or downward direction? Everybody, body will skid upward direction or downward direction? Body will skid upward direction, but the friction will act in what direction? Force of friction. Force of friction will act in downward direction, as the skidding of body will take place in upward direction. Okay, so force of friction is acting in this direction, means then this is the theta, angle theta is this one. So here what will happen? Force of friction, this is f cos theta, and this one will become what, everybody? Here is f cos theta, then here what will happen? Respond. Here, sorry, here, if this is the theta, means this will become f cos theta, then downward direction, force is acting downward direction. So if it is f cos theta, means then opposite one, what will happen? Friction. F friction angle, friction is acting, keep it this in mind. So when the velocity is greater than root over rg tan theta, body is try to skidding upward direction, and friction is acting what direction? Friction is acting, respond, friction is acting downward direction. Downward direction. So if velocity is less than root over rg tan theta, now body is skidding downward direction. Body is skidding downward direction. So by the time the friction will act in what direction? Everybody, force of friction will act in? Yes, please. Force of friction will act in, all of you, upward direction. Okay. So if v is greater than root over r rg tan theta, then friction will be in downward direction and skidding will be in upward direction. If v is less than root over rg tan theta, body will skidding in the inward direction, and force of friction will acting in the what direction? Everyone, force of friction will acting in the, respond, upward direction. Okay. Yes, please. Are you clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now let us make it that. So what is the velocity? What is the normal reaction? What is the velocity? We have to find it, like force of friction, everything. So how to find it and how to solve it? So we'll take the question and we'll solve. So this is what, when the body is traveling in inclined surfaces or banking of roads. So all the forces which is acting, you have to remember. Now, if it is acting more than the like maximum velocity or less than the maximum velocity without skidding, so we'll calculate it for everything and we'll see that. Now all of you observe very carefully. So this is what banking of road I have taken. Now car is traveling. Let me take first case. Write the question now. Question number one. Question number one, right? With the same example, we'll proceed. Okay, everybody. So the same thing, imagine car is traveling, banking of roads. Write the question now. A road is banked for a vehicle. A road is banked for a vehicle. Banked for a vehicle of m is equals to 200 kg and v is equals to 10 meter per second. What is this v? Can you tell me? This v is only what? V is equals to what, Rudreswa? Banking of road. That is what? RG tan theta. Am I right or wrong?
Tan theta.
Tan theta.
RG tan theta without skidding. This is what. Okay. V is 10 meter and R is equals to 20 meter. Find the magnitude and direction of friction, okay, when V is equals to 5 meter per second. So V is less than root over RG tan theta or greater than RG tan theta. Anybody? V is equals to 5, and the second case is V is equals to 15 meter per second. So these are the two cases. So for both the cases, we should find what is the direction of friction and what is the like magnitude and direction of friction. Shall we start now, everybody? All of you? So please, all of you keep it in
Yes, sir.
mind. So if you notice it, first case, what is the maximum velocity it can travel without skidding? What is the maximum velocity it will travel without skidding? V is equals to root over RG. How much it is? Check it. 10. Am I right or wrong? Now they have given that one is less and another one is what? One time it is less and another time it is what, guys? More. Am I right or wrong?
Great.
Yes. So first case, let me take V is less. So if you take V is less, all of you observe and tell me, if V is less means, then body is acting in what direction? Anybody can tell? Yes, please. In this case only imagine. So V is acting less. So V is less than this one. So in this case, what is the direction acting? First of all, so V is equals to 10 means, can I say, this V is equals to root over RG tan theta? Am I right or wrong? All of you respond. Yes, please. So V is
Yes,
equals
sir.
to that value. What is that value? And we all knows that V tan theta is equals to, what is the formula we derived it? Tan theta is equals to V square by tan theta is equals to V square by
RG.
RG. So we all knows that velocity, maximum velocity. So can I find from that tan theta is equals to V square means 10 square divided by R value is 20 into G value is, let me take 10. So that from that tan theta is equals to how much it will come? Can you tell me? Everybody. 10 into 10 divided by 20 into 10. So 10 will get cancelled, 2 ones are 2 twos are. So tan theta is equals to how much, guys? Tan theta is equals to how much? Fastly, everybody.
0.5.
Tan theta is equals to, respond, 1 by 2. Understand? So if I draw a triangle, so tan theta is equals to 1 by 2. So what will happen here? So 1, 2, and find it, all of you. How much it will come? Root 5 will come. You have to find it and tell me. Hypotenuse is how much? Is it right, Mr. Rudreswa? All of you should find it. So tan
Yes,
theta
Yes,
is
sir.
sir.
1 by 2. So I will get this much one. So imagine this is what the banking of road. So I will draw like a triangle so that you can understand. So now in these cases, so this is the theta. So let us understand, they are asking, find the magnitude and as well as direction of friction. Now you tell me here, as the body is traveling less than or greater than, means less than means it will skidding inwards or outwards. It will skid into inwards, and that force of friction will act upward direction or downward direction. F will act in, yes please,
Upward direction.
and in this case, V is greater than the 10, so that it will act here. What will action? Force of friction will, like, yes, body will skid upward direction. The force of friction will act what direction? Everybody, respond,
Downward direction.
okay. So let me take first in this case. So in this case, let me imagine this diagram and you draw. So all of you. So what is the ways it will come? You can notice it. So I'm imagining the body here. So now first force, the force which is acting downward direction. What is that force? Everybody? Yes, please. The force which is acting downward direction. What is that? Please respond. Yeah, what is that? mg. And the force which is acting centripetal force, that is what? mv square by r. So here, what is the velocity? Velocity is equal to how much? Less we are taking. How much it is? 5 meter per second. Correct or not? Please respond, guys. All of you. So velocity is 5 meter per second. So that normal is acting here. So normal is this one means, then as we all knows that. So perpendicular line, horizontal line I will imagine. So then it will become what? You should speak. This will become n. Respond, this will become n cos theta. And here, this side it will become what? Everybody, n
Sin theta.
sin. Now, it is less than, if you notice it, it is less than the maximum velocity. So that now it is skidding inwards or outwards, everybody. It is skidding inwards or outwards. Fastly, guys. Inwards. So it is skidding inwards means the force of friction acting what direction, brothers? It is acting in what direction? Force of friction.
Upward.
Force of friction is acting in what direction? Upward direction. Understanding? Now, my question is to you guys. At a time, velocity and as well as direction, magnitude and as well as direction is changing, force of friction. Now, here we'll obtain limiting friction or static friction. Anybody? Limiting friction or static friction? What friction will act? If the body is traveling without skidding only, we'll obtain what friction? Everybody. We'll obtain the, yes, please. We'll obtain the what friction? Without skidding, we'll obtain the always what friction? It is limiting friction. If it is skidding inwards or outwards, keep it in mind, the friction is always keep on changes, so that it is friction is variable, it is self-adjusting, so that it is a what friction? Static friction or what friction? Static friction or limiting friction? It is static friction. That is what even last class I told. When it is in a banking of road, it is a self-adjusting friction. So self-adjusting friction means it is a static friction or limiting friction, everybody? Yes, please.
Static friction.
Static friction. So that is what you have to remember it. Now, as the velocity is less, now you tell me, body is skidding upwards or inwards? The body is skidding inwards and force of friction is acting in what direction? Force of friction, this is. Force of friction is acting in upward direction. Clear, everybody? Please respond, Ra. So now, as we know, force of friction is acting upward direction. So everywhere theta is same. So theta is remains same. So here also theta is remains same. So now here is theta is coming. If theta is coming here means resultant force, all of you check it. So this is what force of friction. Then here what will happen? Here F cos theta and opposite one what will come? Everyone. F
Sin theta.
F sin theta. Do you understand, Ra? Everyone? So here what will happen? F cos theta will come. And opposite one here what will happen? F, everybody. F
Sin theta.
sin theta. Clear? Rudreswa? Force of friction. Two components. Understand, Amma? Pradosh? So as the theta is remains constant at every point. So this is the theta. So if you take this is the theta, here F sin theta will come and this component F cos theta will come. Are we able to understand or not? Please respond, guys. Everybody. So this alone I will draw.
Yes, sir.
Once again. So check it, everybody. So this is the banking of road, all of you. So the car is like this. Just imagine this is the car. So weight of the car is acting downward direction, mg. Normal is acting upward direction, normal. So let me take from this point so that it is easy for you to understand. So yeah, just a minute. So now you can notice it. Weight of the body is acting downward direction. From this point, normal is acting. And if I draw the angle is theta here, then it will become what? This will become n cos theta. And from this point, if I draw, this will become what? N sin theta. Okay. And body is skidding inwards. The body is skidding inwards means velocity is acting downwards or upwards. Velocity is acting downwards or upwards? Downwards. Body is skidding downwards. So that force of friction is acting what direction? Force of friction is acting in, yes, please, upward direction. Am I right or wrong? So theta, if here is the theta, then here is also same theta. Then here what will happen? This component. Already we know that here mv square by r is acting. So here what will happen? F friction, F cos theta and vertical direction. What will happen, guys? F, respond. F sin theta. Do you understand, Ra? Please respond, everybody. Yes. So now you can form the equations. That's all it is. So if you form the equations, you'll get the things. So what is the first equation? Everybody tell me. First, n cos theta. N cos theta plus F sin theta is equals to what? Is equals to what, guys? Mg. Next, this one. N sin theta. N sin theta is acting here. So n sin theta is equals to, check it here, mv square by r plus F cos.
F cos theta.
Am I right or wrong? All of you clear? Respond, Ra.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
F cos theta will come this side. It will become what, guys? I will form the two equations now. All of you observe. First one is n cos theta plus F sin theta. is equals to mg. Second equation, can you write it as a n sin theta minus f cos theta is equals to mv square by r. Will you all agree with me? Everybody, please respond. All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, if you notice it, if as it is inclined surface, now normally see, if it is, all of you observe very carefully. If it is a horizontal surface, always n is equals to what, everybody? N is equals to what? Mg. Am I right or wrong? Please respond. N is equals to mg. But as it is inclined surface, now if you notice it, it is a self-adjusting. So n is remains constant or variable as the friction is acting upward or downward direction. So here what is happening? N is not remains constant. So n is basically variable here. As the normal keep on changes when the car is keep on traveling. Am I right or wrong, guys? Everybody? So n is variable. So n is variable means the friction. Yep, the friction is also variable. Here is not the limiting friction. So what is the friction here? Everybody, it is the static friction. Banging of road self-adjusting friction. Friction is not remains constant when it is in inclined surfaces, inclined roads the car is traveling. So it is remains variable, self-adjusting friction. That is why it is called as static friction, we can say. So here friction is not equals to mu n. Do you all understanding, everybody? Friction is not equals to mu n. Why? If it is limiting friction only, we can say that. If it is a limiting friction only, which is equals to mu n, which is equals to mgh. Sorry, mu mg. Am I right or wrong, guys? Yes or no? So it is not the limiting friction because static friction. So static friction, do you have any formula? Static friction, do you have any formula? No formula for static friction. So in these cases, F is variable, banking of roads. So F is not equals to mu n. F is not equals to mu n or mu mg. Please remember that because friction is not remains constant. Clear, everybody? All of you understand? Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if you all notice it, so let us go with that. So let us solve now. So we got it the tan theta. So we all know the tan theta already we found it. So tan theta, what is the tan formula? Anybody can tell me? Tan formula what? Adjacent side by opposite side. So what?
Opposite.
The hypotenuse will come how much? Check it, everybody. What is the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse will get 5. So from that, can you tell me what is the sine value? Sine theta is equals to what then? Anybody? Sine theta is equals to hypotenuse by what is that? Sorry, sine theta, what is that? Adjacent side by hypotenuse.
1 by root 5, sir.
1 by root 5. Can you tell me what is the cos theta? Everybody, adjacent side by hypotenuse, which is 2 by root 5. So that's all. We all know the mass we know, radius we know, velocity we know. Now velocity we have to take what? 5 or 10? Less it is. So 5 it is we have to take. So substitute the values. So G value 10. So let us substitute it now. We have to find the n. So cos theta value how much? Cos theta value 2 by root 5
2 by root 5.
plus f sin theta value
1 by root 5.
1 by root 5, which is equals to m value 200 into G value is 10. Second equation, n into sin theta value 1 by root 5. 1 by root 5 minus f cos theta value 2 root 5, which is equals to m value is 200, velocity is 5 square, divided by r value is 20. So 0 will get cancelled, 2 ones are 2 tens are. So which is equals to 10 into 25, which is equals how much, guys?
250.
Okay, so 250 it is. Okay, till here anybody having doubt, you can ask me. Clear, everybody? So can you tell me that equations, everyone? What is the equations we got it now? Here we'll continue. So what is the two equations we got it? First equation, n cos theta. Let me write from that. So we got it n cos theta plus f sin theta. N cos theta plus f sin theta, which is equals to what? Mg. Same way, n sin theta plus, n sin theta minus f cos theta, which is equals to mv square by r. Am I right, guys? Yes, please. So which is equals to mg. So if we substitute the values and all, so we'll get the equations. What is the equations we'll get it? So first equation, so n cos theta value. What is the cos theta value? We got it. If this is the tan theta, so 2 and 1. So here what will happen? Sorry, 2 and 1. Here we'll get root over 5. Tan theta means. So now, So tan theta. So from that sin theta is equals to, we got it 1 by root 5 and cos theta is equals to 2 by
2
root.
by root 5.
2 by root 5.
So if you substitute, what will happen, everybody? So n cos theta means 2 by root 5 plus f into sin theta means 1 by root 5, which is equals to 200 into 10. So this is n is variable, two variables and two equations. So you cannot find everybody, two variables and two equations. We cannot solve the equations, we can easily solve. So n sin theta, what is the sin theta value? 1 by root 5
1 by
minus
root 5.
f cos theta value 2 by root 5, which is equals to mass is 200 into velocity is 5 square divided by r value is 20. So 21s are 20 10s are. So what is the answer? Everybody, this will become 250. So let me take LCM is root 5. So if it is like LCM is root 5 means here what will happen? N minus 2f. Am I right, guys? Everybody? So this is equation I'll write. N minus 2f is equals to 250 into root 5. Is it okay, guys? Let me take this is equation number 2. And first equation, this is also I'll write it. LCM I will take it as a root 5. So 2n plus f, which is equals to 2000 and root 5 will come this side. Can I raise a root 5? Everybody clear? Please respond, guys. All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
That's all. Now two equations I got it. What are the two equations? First one, 2n
2
plus
plus
f, 2n plus f, which is equals to 2000 root 5. Yeah. How much Narayan? Narayan got the answer. F is equals to how much? 300 root 5. Okay. So you solve it, everybody. So 300 root 5. Second equation is n minus 2f, which is equals to 250 into root 5. Now tell me, I want to cancel it. So first equation, second equation. So let me cancel it. F and F, I'll get cancelled. If I add these two equations, how to add it? First whole equation I'll multiply with the 2. Is it okay, guys? Everybody? Yes or no? Mr. Narayan? So that's all it will become. So it will turns into what? 4n plus 2f, which is equals to 2000, 2 into 4, 2000, 4000 root 5. And this equation, n minus 2f, which is equals to 250 into root 5. So 2f and 2f will get cancelled, add. So 5n is equals to, so this is addition how much, guys? Can you tell me? 4000 root 5 plus 250 root 5. Yes, please respond. So can I take root 5 as a common? So 4000 plus 250, 4250. Is it right? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Root 5 into 4250. Now I want n. So n is equals to 4250 divided by 5 into root 5. So n is equals to how much answer? Tell me. 4250 divided by 5. How much it is?
sir, 850 root 5.
850.
4250
850 root
divided
5.
by 5, which is equals to 850 root 5. That is what is the force. No, normal is the force only. So newtons. Now we want frictional force. So let us substitute it in friction. So how much it is coming? Here, first equation or second equation, your choice. So let us go with the first equation. So first equation we will substitute it and we'll get the F. So how much is the answer? You can check it. So what is the first equation? 2n plus F. Am I right? 2n plus F. Correct? So 2n plus F is equals to 2000 root 5. So n value 2 into 850 root 5 plus F is equals to 2000 root 5. So 850 into 2 is how much? 850 into 2 is 1700. Correct? So 1700 root 5 plus F is equals to 2000 root 5. So F is equals to 2000 root 5 minus 1700 root 5. So which is equals to force of friction. How much? Everybody? 300 root 5 newtons. Very good, Narayan. Narayan did well fast. Very good. So value is 300 root 5 newtons. Understand, Rudreswa? Clear? All of you?
Yes, sir.
So please make it. Anything doubt, you can ask me. If you understand this, then we'll go with the next one. So V is greater than normal velocity, maximum velocity. So by that time, it will skid inwards or outwards? Greater, more velocity. So it will get inwards or outwards? Unless you all try, it is not possible to make it. Mr. Karthik, are you trying? Mr. Rudreswa? Yes? Kadri?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So unless you try, it is very, very tough to make it. You have to solve, you have to make it. So this is what inverts if V is less. So completed everyone? If you completed, then I'll proceed further. All of you? Yes? You want to take time? You can take. No issues. Okay? I'll make it. No problem. Now, let us go with the second case. So we all knows that by the time force of friction will act in a what direction? Case 2. So V is equals to now how much? 15 meter per second. Understanding, Amma? So V is equals to how much now? Everybody? 15 meter per second. So let me take my car is here. Okay. Now all of you can tell me. So just I will take the different colors so that it will be understand. So we all knows that weight of the body is acting what direction? Weight of the body is acting what direction, guys? Yes, please.
Downward direction.
Downward direction. And velocity is C. So now velocity is acting. V is equals to how much it is? 15 meter per second. So it is greater than 10 meter per second. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please respond. All of you. So now if you notice it, all of you. So as we know, this is the normal. So from this point, this is the normal. So if I take the theta, this will become what? N cos theta. And opposite one will become what? N
Sin.
sin theta. And the centripetal force which is acting mv square by r. So now if you notice it, now the body velocity is greater, so that the body is trying to move in this direction. Velocity is in this direction. So the force of friction in what direction? Everybody? Force of friction in what direction? All of you respond. Force of friction in what direction? You should opposite direction. So force of friction in opposite direction. Am I right or wrong? Everyone? Yes, please. Respond, Ra. Yeah. So force of
Yes, sir.
friction will be in opposite direction. If I saw 1 minute, let me take neatly. So this is n cos theta is perpendicularly to this. So if I take it, is a wheel car. So this is what n sin theta. So now if you have noticed it, so force of friction is acting downward direction. If the force of friction is acting downward direction, all of you remember, theta is here. Where it will come theta? Theta is exactly here, it will be coming. Am I right or wrong? So this is the theta. Actually, if you notice it, so here is the theta will come. Then what will happen? Theta, f sin theta and f sin theta and f cos theta, where it will come? So here is the theta coming. So here what will happen? Everybody? F cos theta will come. If theta is here, then here what will happen? F sin theta. I'll draw the diagram once again. So all of you observe, all of you notice it properly. If not, you will go to the diagram. Meeting is going to end, you join back. So let me take this case. So here you can understand very clearly. Yeah. So in this case, second case, everything is same. So now before F